Hello and welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. My name is Simon. This is my daily Bitcoin price action analysis. That's right, the floating head has returned. Happy Sunday to you. I hope you're all well and have enjoyed your weekend. Sunday means there's about to be a weekly closure on Bybit here. So let's have a look at it. Now, on Friday, I looked at the CME closure, which was 71,500, and was suggesting that maybe Bitcoin might, on Bybit, may catch up to that over the weekend. And the tick is currently on 71,000, so, maybe it won't quite get there, because you've only got 4.5 hours left. Although $500 in 4.5 hours for Bitcoin is not unheard of, but it's going to be there or thereabouts. Either way, a bullish weekly candle. Right, down to the 4 hour. I've just kind of refreshed the screen a little bit. I've taken off the range high and range low and range mid and just streamlined it all. It's had a haircut. And here is the current 4 hours. It was 4 hour daily resistance, really, which is coming in at 71.8. And here, trend line up, just representing all these higher lows. This is clearly wedging itself in. And because of the overriding uptrend, it would make logical sense to presume, and it is a presumption, that this breaks out to the upside. Having got several 4 hour closures above 72,000, it then seems logical that 74,000, i.e. the current all-time high, would be on the cards, would be in the sights of Bitcoin. But not guaranteed. And clearly all that is negated, really, with some 4 hour closures back below here, which is 68.3. If that does happen, then targets, more targets to the downside, clearly, but really anything between where Bitcoin is now and down to 59,000 is fair game, because that would still be within this overall range. However, this looks more like advancing buying pressure up against resistance, which, as I said, more likely to break out to the upside. So, if it does, then, and I don't, whether or not that happens by the end of this week, as in the next 4 hours, or in fact into next week, probably into next week. But if it does, and then if Bitcoin manages to break out of the current all-time high, then you got to think about, well, what then, right? What then? Because when you're trading or when you're looking at charts, you're effectively looking at historical data for most of the time. And so you can see what I mean. So this is just Bybit, it's not the complete history, but so from here, when it was at sort of 57,000 back in tail end of 2018, price came down, and then when the trend changed and it turned into an uptrend, it retraced to nearly the same point. Sorry, this is a weekly chart, right? Weekly chart, and it hanged around the same area for a few weeks before breaking above. So then from this point, this was unknown territory. Once the momentum had run out and Bitcoin started to mount then a downtrend rather than an uptrend, there were areas of interest to look based on the historical price. And then, blah, 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 on it goes. So from when Bitcoin broke out of above these highs and this high here, this was unknown until it then retraced back down to these levels, blah, blah, blah. You can see where I'm going with this. And so most of the time, you have historical points of reference for which you can make certain presumptions about, but indeed the points of reference tend to represent support and resistance areas, and you can see that on the chart. You just have to spend a little time looking at them. I guess, have I got time? Yeah, okay, I can do this. So very simply, you just look for the obvious area. So you're starting at the beginning, right? So let's just start at the beginning and stick a line on. And you can see that was resistance as the price came up. It then broke through, went up, came down, didn't get quite down to it. And then, so at this point, this becomes your resistance area here. And there are always areas, they have lines, but we draw them on as lines, otherwise you wouldn't be able to see the price action. There'd be too many areas. So the price comes down, made another attempt, or another bounce up, another bounce down. This wick basically retraced down to these bottoms, but the closures were around this point and then this mid-move sticky area. And then the price came back up. So this was one big range. Price came back up, stuttered again at the what is resistance line, but then broke through and went on a massive bull run. And blah blah blah. I could draw many of them. Clearly, this area here, which corresponded to the current macro low for Bitcoin, which is why I, for one, wasn't surprised when it came down to 15,000, even though everyone else was suggesting maybe 18,000 was the bottom. I'm blaming this on some sort of Sam Bankman-Fried, event. But in reality, historically, price had been, the price action had found that whole area, a little bit sticky. So I'm kind of explaining in a bit of a long-winded way that it looks like Bitcoin's about to start some new territory. It's about to break some snow. And, people have various ways of guessing, which is all it is. There's no way to predict how high an asset or what price an asset will achieve. But, Fibonacci extension is probably as good as any. And you can do one. So you do it based on this down move to give you an extension upwards. And if I just pick out that here, so I'll do it as accurately as I can, but in an efficient manner. So you just need to encompass the whole move, and then you look for the Fibonacci extensions. And there are multiple Fibonacci extensions. I've just got a few on here. But as you can see, the 1.272 for Bitcoin is coming in at just a small amount, $105,000. So you can have this is the tool that's freely available on TradingView, and so you can have all of them, or as few or as many as you like. Now, I'm not a Fibonacci expert by any stretch of the imagination, and so I don't really have the authority to tell you which ones are more commonly visited by price action when predicting new highs. But the next one that is available, if you like, is at a rather crazy $105,000. Now, it would be somewhat naive to think that Bitcoin's just going to smash straight up there. And a midpoint, I'm just eyeballing this, is 88,000, which in a way seems a bit more reasonable. as a, if you like, weekly first target, providing the Bitcoin breaks above the existing all-time high at 74,000. So, why is that 10 minutes? How is that 10 minutes already? That's not allowed. I don't accept that that's 10 minutes already. So anyway, I'm going to finish the video. Sorry it's been a bit waffly, but yes, the first line in the sand for more upside out of this wedginess here. No one likes a wedgie. Is 71.8, 4-hour closures or daily, and then an assault potentially on the all-time high. There we are. That'll do. I'll stop wittering on. Taken up enough time on this Sunday, and do me a favor, if you've enjoyed the video or you found it in any way useful, please like and subscribe, and if you haven't, don't come back tomorrow because I'll be doing it all again. Take care.